interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday Show. My name's Ben. I'm with my co-host
Edgar.
Edgar is here. Edgar is here. Fear not, citizens.
I am here.
Hope has arrived.
I am
Manga.
How old is All Might?
Manga Monday Show. Sorry if you're a first-time listener. I promise we're not that big of nerds, but
I don't know.
I'm just
You
kidding.
can-
We're pretty big. Nerds.
Yeah.
We've done a podcast about
Huge
manga. Yeah.
nerds.
Huge nerds. Well, Edgar, how was your week?
It's been going great. I saw Sonic 2.
Cool.
Can't wait for the next one.
Awesome.
Honestly, can't wait. I liked it a lot. I thought
How
it
was my
good.
boy Idris? Was he good?
Oh, he was great. I
That's
think
good.
Knuckles is like the best part of that movie.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. This might be his last movie.
I heard. Yeah.
I love seeing him. He's just so much fun, man.
That's good.
I-
He's the only anime like
Real life anime
real life
character.
anime character. Yeah.
That isn't cringe.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who do try to act like anime characters and they are cringe.
Oh yeah. I get you.
Sussy baka.
Sussy man. Yeah.
So what are we going to be talking about today?
Yeah, Edgar, why don't you take the helm? I know you got two things that you wanted to discuss with us.
Yeah, let's just do a small news segment that I thought was important. First up on the list is Makoto Shinkai is coming up with a new film, or at least he's released a new film that he made, directed, and animated.
That's the Your Name guy, right?
Yeah, Your Name, Weathering with You, 5 centimeters per second and more. He has a new film. It was in the works, and I was super excited for it, but now it has an official release date, at least for Japan, November 11th. It is called
November 11th.
Yeah,
That's my birthday.
yeah, but we're not.
But
getting,
I'm not gonna be able to
No,
see it.
we're probably getting
let's-
January.
Let's go. Let's go to Japan
I-
on my birthday.
Yeah.
Please. Please open your borders, Japan. Please, we've been wanting to go for so long.
I know. The movie is called Suzume no Tojimari, or the literal meaning is closing door, or Suzume closes door. There's no Suzume's door locking. That's what it literally means. But I couldn't find.
Maybe it's like the locked door or something like that.
It looks beautiful. It has a teaser trailer now,
That's
and I loved Your Name, and I watched Weathering with You. I think you should also watch Weathering with You, Ben.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
watched, I watched Your Name with my girlfriend recently.
Yeah, I
'Cause
suggested-
Edgar bought it for
Yeah.
for me for Christmas.
technically her, but.
Yeah, for her, right?
But for you to watch it with her, because I've been
Yeah,
recommending you to watch it.
Which is great because she is not, she's not an anime enthusiast, but she really liked the movie.
Yeah, I
so
knew
I'm-
she would. I
yeah.
knew she would love it, and
So I'm
it's.
pushing her closer. I'm getting her closer. And
We're
closer
almost
and
there.
Closer. We're almost there, baby.
We'll just show her High School DxD, and we'll show her My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I have
yeah.
to watch a terrible reality TV show to please her afterwards.
Is that what she told you to do after?
No, well, she comes over and she's like, "Oh my god, I want to watch the finale of Love Is Blind with you," and I'm like, "I'd rather die."
Well, I would only watch it just because how stupid it is. Just to watch it, because sometimes I don't know, but I feel like I had to watch it with somebody.
Right, but also you have to remember that acting is my job, and the more I watch these guys, the more I steal from them, and
Well-
I'm on stage going like, "But Brenda, why did your mom say that she didn't like me?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?" Yeah.
All right, so I
Exactly.
can't wait for that film. Makoto Shinkai's next work. A lot of people
Yeah.
call him the next Miyazaki. I feel like people shouldn't call him that, but he is one of the most prominent anime filmmakers, and his style is absolutely gorgeous. You can just watch his food alone, food and anime. He's like the best at it. So I can't wait for that. Other news report. This is kind of following up of another news segment that we talked about earlier. Toei Animation's hack was apparently a ransomware attack. Did you know about this, Ben?
No. What's this?
And
All
Toei,
I know is that they're coming back. Sorry.
Yeah, they are back. They announced their shows, but however, the ransomware attack continues to affect the production of Dragon Ball superhero film. That's still delayed, and apparently reported
stop
on
talking. Sorry.
reported on Thursday, according to sources from Toei Animation, that the Toei Animation hack last month was a ransomware attack. The company quoted a source saying, "The impact on the production is still continuing, and we're still working hard to bring things back to normal." They're still investigating the details of the attack, and they don't know how to completely restore what was lost during the attack. Apparently, it's still affecting the production, so that means that it's still indefinite delay. But basically, what a ransomware attack is, that's okay. Ben's fake crying over here.
This is the whole podcast. It's just me fake crying while
Yeah.
Edgar talks.
Yeah. A ransomware attack is a malware attack that restricts access to a data of a company's internal servers until a ransom is paid. So basically, they took information or withheld data from the company, told them, if you pay this much, we'll get it right back to you. So
Wow.
basically what happened.
Did they pay them?
No, at least not according to the source that we have so far. They're just simply trying to get it back. But thanks to this, it's indefinitely delayed. It was supposed to originally open in Japan in April 22nd, which is coming up soon. But now we don't know, and it has no debut date. So we'll see. Maybe we never get it until money is paid. But Japan execs, they're never going to buckle under that.
Yeah, they're never ever. We're probably never going to get that movie if that's the case. But maybe we will eventually. They'll just redo it. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks that it would be affecting them this much. But
Yeah, it does. It does. Because I'm really excited for that movie. I'm really excited to see Gohan and Piccolo back in the main stage of Dragon Ball. Even if it is an experimental animation film, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. So that was all the news I had. I just thought it'd be interesting.
The news. Awesome.
News.
The news brought to you by Edgar. But the reason why you clicked on this episode probably is because Attack on Titan.
Again, Ben, but we talked about it last
But it's
week.
Attack on Titan month, Edgar. It's
You're right.
April.
You're right.
It's Armin April. Armin.
No.
Armin April?
No.
Alert April.
Absolutely not.
Aaron April. Let's go.
A pun with Attack on Titan in April.
Yeah, insert here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this week we're going to talk about every episode and give them a appropriate ranking of part 2 of season 4 of the final season of Attack on Titan to get ready for the final season of Attack on Titan.
You're good.
And speaking of the final season, Edgar, you have read the ending
Yes, I did.
of Attack on Titan.
And
I'm ready to dissect that brain
Yeah.
and see what you mean. Are the rumors true? Did it end as terribly as everyone thinks?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Aaron,
No, never mind. We shouldn't. So this is going to be a non-spoiler section. So don't worry. If you're caught up with the anime, at this part, you are safe.
Yeah.
However, towards the end, we're going to talk more about it.
Obviously, the spoiler part will be the ending because you
Of
can't
course.
really not put it spoiler. So we'll just
Exactly.
this entire portion won't be spoiler. When we talk about the ending, it'll be a spoiler. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. This season, it was really good of Attack on Titan.
It was
We
great.
loved it. It was fan-freaking-tastic.
2 of my favorite episodes in it. Absolutely great. Let's
Yeah.
break it down. Start with
Let's break it down.
Let's
Episode
get into
1,
it.
Judgment. This episode was the 17th episode of this season. This was the episode when Hanji found Levi's body.
How are we rating this? 1 to 5? 1 to 10?
We'll do 1 out of 10. Yeah,
All right.
I think so. Yeah,
I'll give this a 7.
You'll give this a 7.
This is kind of a lackluster. This is why I really wish they didn't cut it off here, because it really just
Yeah.
continues off. I think Attack on Titan's biggest weakness is their fighting. They're not that good at
Really?
it. Yeah, I don't think they're. I don't even in the manga. I don't think the action was the biggest selling point of the.
No.
They had cool moments, but like the only cool parts of the fight is like the characters coming together and like what the
Yeah.
consequences will be or what will be lost, or it's not really the exact action, the pieces and like how it's drawn or how it looks. And I feel like
two titans attacking each other isn't as interesting as
Yeah.
when like small little people are like ziplining past them. That's why like Spider-Man is so cool, is because he's always swinging and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I think I agree with you, but because like the reason why I like the fights in Attack on Titan so much is because most of the time, especially for the tiny people, compared to the Titans, they are like, if you mess up, you're dead, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just
I
that,
just think
which is
like
great.
it's like moments that lead up before, or, like what exactly is it? Because like when you think of season 2, you don't think of like Aaron versus Reiner. You think of the reveal of Reiner and Bertolt.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I've been trying to make a D&D out of Attack on Titan. Literally impossible. Because, like, characters in this world can just die like that.
Yeah.
And in D&D, like, the odds would be so against you. It's awful. Yeah.
I would give it a 7 out of 10. Even with
Yeah.
if you find the action enjoyable, there wasn't much that happened in it. So I just watched it and I was like, yeah, we're gonna be back. So
Yeah, and this was this the one where Eren and Reina are attacking each other?
it ends with Aaron screaming because Reiner plugged a giant piece of Warhammer spear into him.
Oh, right.
And
He's like,
So the first half was
Yeah.
seeing all the troops
Yeah.
of Marley drop down, and then the second half was Onion Capone opening the prison gate.
oh,
prison
right.
for Armin.
And Armin was suggesting that Eren
Is,
was still
like-
a good guy.
Yeah, he's still on our side.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's good, but
Uh,
I don't think
yeah.
it just does its job. It's there, so like
Yeah,
I don't
out
think.
I'd give it a 7 as well. Out of 10 screaming Errands. Do I have to? I don't want to do this every time. Like, because
No.
last time I did, I was like 10 blah blah blah. I don't know. Let's just give it a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next episode 18, Sneak Attack.
Sneak attack.
Sneak Attack.
My
Sokka.
favorite, my favorite moment of this episode was other than the Yelena face, because that was this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was this one. This was the one where the Server Corps decide they're going to help Eren.
Yeah.
You know, which is a huge decision. by them.
I think the very end of this episode was Zeke showing up, right?
Yes.
No,
So
yeah.
So
No, wait, right? No. Look at the synopsis, because I'm pretty.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Because
this is when Zeke shows up.
So what happens
because
before this?
Abe gets shot by the
Oh!
anti-Titan
I was
cannon.
thinking, because I kept thinking when Zeke appears that there was a cutaway to the ending, but it was cutaway to the
to
intro.
the intro. Oh,
Yeah, so
okay,
that's why I was
okay.
confused. But yeah, he comes and shows up to save Aaron. And here's why I wish it happened in the anime, which is cool, and it was done well. When it shows that like Yelena doing that pose.
Yeah.
I think it was done better in the manga.
I think it was done better in the trailer.
That is yeah, because there's a lot of shots that were shown differently in the trailer than in the actual anime.
because that trailer they made it for part 1.
Yeah.
So they
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 deceived
probably just took that panel and just made the background of them doing it.
Yeah, it was the lighting that it was kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It was muggy and dark that in the
Yeah.
anime, but in the trailer and especially in the manga, it was exceptionally well done.
Yeah.
And then the face was like memed to hell, which is really funny.
My favorite one is when she looks down on him, and then Armin has it, and then all the other characters have it. That's my favorite meme.
Yeah, one of the, I would rate this an 8 out of 10
Yeah.
compared to other, but this was infinitely a step up better than the previous one.
Yeah, I agree. And this one leads into the next one, so you have to give it an 8.
And Gabby had a really important moment. She realizes that there were no devils on this island.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
and what's his face gives Gabby like out of prison or out of like containment.
Yeah, Niccolo, not
Yeah.
Niccolo.
No, it was some other like Survey Corps person.
Yeah, no, he was the
Or
military
police.
Yeah, the military.
Yeah, he had black hair. Niall,
There
is
you
his
go.
name.
It started with an N. There you
Yeah, there you go.
go. Okay, well
All
that
right.
was him. Yeah,
Episode 19, Two Brothers.
two brothers.
Two brothers.
There's two brothers, and then a meteor, and then
two brothers.
yeah, that's a Rick and Morty reference.
Rick and Morty
Like,
reference, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably my
This is-
second or
this is-
best episode.
This is the best episode this season for me.
Yeah.
There is something about, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago with the South America arc and Dr. Stone. There's something about characters trying to get somewhere before impending doom hits them that just gets my story mind just going crazy.
Yeah, it's just Aaron's head getting shot off by Faye's
so good.
Gabby was
But, oh my god, dude! And when it's so good, and when
I just love seeing Aaron. It was just so like it was just done
It
so
was
well.
so
John
good.
and Connie help Aaron, and you're like, wow, they really are helping him.
Yeah.
And like Aaron's like just like running and just seeing him like
Yeah.
so desperate, like he's like just him in human form. And then
exactly.
they're just reaching
and
for
when
each
he
other.
when he rolled out. But I think my favorite part of this, as much as I like getting shot, when I read that in the manga, I was angry. I was like, no, I hate Gabby. You know, I don't hate her anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
If you
my-
hated Gabby, this would, and if you loved Aaron, this would have like, holy crap! I can
Yeah.
only imagine how you felt.
Oh yeah, definitely. But my favorite part of this episode is when Falco's brother is like pleading to Zeke, and he's like, please don't do this.
Oh yeah,
And
because
Zeke-
this is when
Yeah.
when he yells, right?
And I recently watched in the dub, and of course Zeke's voice actor is goated.
and Galliard,
and
sacrifices
Galliard
him.
and
everybody
and,
thought
and it
he's
just
like,
puts in the themes with the two brothers.
yeah.
Oh, it's
There's
so
3
good.
sets of 2 brothers.
Oh,
it's
it's
so great.
so good.
But I just love that people thought that Galliard was attractive, but as he was dying, which is so funny because I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, why is Galliard hot all of a sudden? Is it because he's
Yeah.
dying? I don't know. It was just
Oh,
hilarious.
dude, and this was the one where everybody turned into Titans.
Yeah,
Remember?
Pixis and then
Oh,
Nile.
Bro, when I read that in the manga,
And it played
I was like,
that song, like the song that you hear, like when
yeah,
Aaron.
11 out of 10 this episode, by the way. But no.
Yeah, I'd give this a 10 out of 10.
No, 100%. It's just, God, it's so good. Like the moment when, like, I just watched the dub recently, and when Zeke's like, I understand, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, and then it echoes all throughout Shuganshina, and then the Titan theme playing, the
yeah.
Like, oh, dude, this is the best episode of the season.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
10 out of 10, definitely.
God, 10 out of 10.
But Ben,
It's
we got the
so
next
good.
episode, which is also meets the hype in a very much different way.
Yes.
Memories of the Future.
Memories of the Future.
Episode
Yes.
20. It starts off. The previous episode ends with Aaron and Zeke in the paths.
Yeah.
So and then and Zeke is going to convince Aaron to join his side, and I'll show you the path that I kind of forget. But
yeah, well, Zeke can just tell Ymir to euthanize everyone.
yeah, but he plans to convince Aaron and join them.
Have you seen? Hold on, before we continue, have you seen the YouTube video of, instead of the rumbling song, it's called the Euthanation song,
No.
and it's like euthanation. And
No.
it's like no kids for you.
What the heck?
And it's like Zeke doing all the Aaron things and stuff, and it's like euthanation, like propaganda, but it's so funny. You
Oh,
should
I
really
get it.
see
Like instead of like, because Aaron's playing as the rumbling, and then Zeke is the
Zeke's playing as the
euthanation.
euthanation,
Okay,
yeah.
I get it.
Could you imagine, like, if Zeke actually got it, how, like,
Would have been very boring.
the story would have just been like, oh, well, I
Oh,
guess that happened.
No kids for me then.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Instant birth control for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think,
It's just this.
Yeah.
This one is so cool because
yeah.
you get like it just gives you information and it reveals like it has like probably the biggest plot twist in this entire series.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. That's next episode.
No, but that's this one.
No, it's next.
Memories of the Future shows Aaron that Aaron was the one who
Oh,
was
it
in controls
is.
everything.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay, that changes.
Yeah,
the
because
rating of
and it
this
also
one.
starts revealing that that the Attack Titan can see to the future, and that Grisha is able to see Zeke because Aaron was looking
Yeah.
at Grisha, and like there's
Yeah.
like kind of confusing. But
And it's so good. I went back and read the first chapter of the manga. Grisha is
he's looking-
is looking at Aaron.
Yeah.
He is looking at Aaron in the first chapter, which just makes you like, God.
one of the funniest moments is like Aaron's like, I see, you convinced me, I'm on your side now, let's go. And he's like,
Yeah.
we got all the time in the world,
It's like,
buddy.
Zeke's like, come on, dude. Seriously, like, come
But
on.
it's so cool because like
Mhm.
Zeke sees all this and he's like, wow, I guess he really did hate me. And like he thinks it's like one thing, but he starts realizing that Aaron's like he is not at all who Aaron's not the person who he thought he was. And you see Aaron chose
Yeah.
these things because he's himself. It wasn't brainwashed or anything.
Mhm.
Grisha did love him and he did love Zeke.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just such a cool
Gr-
moment.
Grisha's sub actor, by the way, is goated.
Oh, yeah.
His screams, I have never heard a more blood curdling scream, which is hilarious because I look up his sub actor and he's just a play actor, you know?
Barely in anything.
Yeah, he's barely in anything. And I know the dub actor for Grisha, and he's great too.
Yeah, he's good in
Um,
it. And both of them just give their A game, but like we see that Grisha didn't want to do. This also spawned a big meme. The Aaron,
right.
What are you doing, father? Stand up. But
Yeah.
it's like you see that Aaron was the one that started.
Yeah, but
that.
the fact, like I told Edgar that there are many plot twists in Attack on Titan, but I told him there's one left, and it's that Eren is the main antagonist, and he started it all.
Yeah.
And but when he goes down to his father, and it's like, what are you doing? And like, could you imagine like, oh, dude, I would think I would be going crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But
the coolest,
yeah.
my favorite. I mean, obviously, seeing all this happen, I was like, no way. But like to me, like what gave me chills was the very end. Is like when Grisha's like yelling, and he looks at Zeke, and he breaks down, and he says, "I'm so sorry, I loved you." And then Zeke's like, that moment was like giving me so much, and it kept building and building.
And to add on to that moment, when Grisha goes, you have to stop.
Yeah,
Eren.
that was the moment I'm talking about.
They don't deserve. And he hates Marley with a passion.
Yeah.
There's nobody who he hates. Every action he has done up until this point has been to spite Marley. And the fact that he's like, they don't deserve it, dude. That make it stop is just.
And that was that was gonna say it
So
built
good.
up all to one of my favorite moments,
Yeah.
at least in the anime. Like when he says, "Please stop him," and like he gets shot out of that like trance, like the memories, and he just looks at Eren, and he's like, and he's just like staring down at him, and you realize. This is the end game. He is the bad guy. And oh man, it was just so good.
There's something about that panel in the manga that is just so.
Another meme, by the way, Patrick.
Oh yeah,
the
Patrick
SpongeBob with the chains.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's something about that panel in the anime that is just so remarkable in storytelling. Is that when he's tied up like that, it just goes to show that Eren has been a prisoner this entire time, but he's been able to stand up and rise above everyone else and look down at everyone else, even though he is chained down. He has been able to get to this point, which I just think is just so he's not free yet, but he's so close. He stood up.
He's in control.
Above, he's in control, even though he's chained.
Yeah.
Which is it's so good. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Would watch again.
Would watch
times.
again.
And the next episode 21, From You, 2,000 years ago. When I saw the title for this,
The best title of anything ever.
because it's a parallel to the first one.
Yes.
To You, 2,000 years. To You, 2,000 years ago. And
Yep.
when I saw this, like, oh my god, this is it. Like I was like freaking out. It's so cool when titles can just like give you so much goosebumps and chills. But we get to see the past of Oh, by the way, this episode was the one that nearly killed his voice, the actor for Eren.
Oh yeah, didn't he pass out? I thought.
Yeah, or at least he almost lost his voice. Like because this is the one where he like breaks out of the chains and he's like yelling
And he rips his arm
and
off.
he runs.
Yeah.
I just love moments of desperation when he just like in its purest form. It's just some of the coolest moments. But he runs towards Ymir, and then she like hugs, and he like hugs her at least to stop her at least because like. And he loves, and I love seeing Zeke desperate as well. He's like, "Wait, listen to me, start the euthanization plan."
Yeah.
And Aaron's just trying to convince her, and then we start seeing the flashbacks, which was absolutely great. But it was confusing because we don't see.
I don't know how I feel about Ymir's flashback.
Yeah, I did love seeing. We get to see how it started, but at the same time, we don't know what it was because we just see like a spine type thing, like around her. She falls into a tree. Yeah. And there's apparently she falls into water. It's like she's drowning. Mm-hmm. But you know, biggest moment for this was not a plot twist, but we get to see that Ymir's children were Sina, Rose, and Maria.
That was
walls.
cool. That was cool.
And then we see the Titans who are starting to be passed down to the children, and they're being used.
And they're being eaten?
Yeah.
Well, imagine your dad just going, eat your mother. Eat your mother's corpse now.
It's just so tragic. And then it shows her very well. I think I heard that they added more scenes to it, that it shows her like showing her in agony and aching, that she's having to make all these Titans that are being used, especially the ones that were used to build the walls. It just shows her that it was her all the time making the Titans, because that's what the sand is like. It's her to make it. When that's what happens when you use the power of the founding Titans, like her making it. And it's just but seeing her eyes in that scene. It's like probably one of my
Yeah.
favorite moments
I think I
in
liked
this episode.
Yeah, I think the parts with Aaron and Zeke, and of course at the end Aaron becomes the founding
Yeah.
Titan, and
Oh, this is the
and-
announcement, right?
yeah, this
It's
is,
like, this is your captain speaking. I'm going to destroy the world.
yeah, this is your captain speaking. Yeah, and it has one of the best, of
Speeches.
course, one of the best panels from the manga is in this anime, is in this episode.
Yeah, when he activates when every one of the paths, like it just does. I love
Yeah.
that sound, and it's so cool because it's like, what just happened, and then it does it again. And there's a lot of memes in this. A lot of the coolest moments in this anime was memes. But
Yeah.
like when he
Yeah.
says his name and he says that I'm gonna destroy everything outside of the world. It just gave me chills.
I think Aaron and Zeke were I think Aaron and Zeke, all the parts with them were great. However, my issue with Ymir's backstory is I kind of wish that Aaron learned of it earlier, you know, so that he was able to so that he knew when he was going to talk to Ymir. You know, he knew of her backstory, he knew of her past, and that's what he was going to use, and he related himself to her. But I'm not like that's super nitpicky. I'm not gonna be like,
Maybe he did. I don't know.
yeah, maybe he did
Because he did.
because he does know the future. So
Yeah.
maybe he does. Yeah.
Yeah, because he did say, "I understand." But either way, that moment was really cool, and it showed her.
Yeah.
And it was like a glance at that, like, oh, technically Ymir is on Aaron's side because she could have still done the euthanization, but Aaron convinced her, or maybe she was always on Aaron's side. But either way, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I would give this a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. What
Yeah.
would you give it?
I'd give it a 9. Yeah. I think some of the Ymir backstory. I understand Stockholm syndrome. I get it, but also you're a Titan. Eat your husband. You know?
But there is a
Yeah.
reason why.
There is a reason why.
We'll
but
get to
eat,
that.
But eat your husband. But yeah, I would give it a 9, but a high 9. You know,
A high
it was a great. Just the title alone. No, you're right. Sorry, 10 out of 10. The title alone is just fantastic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thaw, episode 22, the next one.
This is the one where Annie comes out of the crystal, right? At
Yeah.
the end. Nothing really happens this episode except the Survey Corps protecting the people from
And
the
they
Titans.
defeat, and you hear the music like,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
it-
And they see Pixis as a Titan.
yeah, and they have to
Yeah.
and they say farewell to him, and they kill
Yeah.
him. And this is probably another moment where the animation was really good for that one
Yeah.
moment. You get to see them use the 3D maneuvering gear, and the camera is really, at least the camera angle is really well.
Yeah.
But I would probably get this a low 8 out of 10, or like a high 7.
Yeah, I'd give it a high 7.
Nothing-
There's not even like I can't remember anything that happened this episode other than Pixis being a Titan. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do it's hard to do 3 10 out of 10s in a row and then do this. You know, do an episode that's not about Zeke or Aaron.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's not
So-
like, and it's not its fault. It's just that we
No.
have to see what happens outside of this.
No. We also I forgot to talk about the last episode is also when Armin realizes that
Aaron's not going along.
yeah, Aaron, like when he sees all the other walls falling.
Yeah, he was
it's
convinced.
a really
like,
cool moment.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's only activating the mirror. I was like, wait, but that's not. There's way more than this. Why is he
Yeah.
doing this? I thought the only plan was like,
Ah,
yikes,
yeah,
Armin, that's not what he's doing.
Nope. All right. Next episode 23.
Sunset.
Sunset.
This is when we actually see Annie, right?
Yes, this is the Annie specific episode.
Yeah. I love seeing her back again.
Right.
But I can't really say that anything super eventful happened.
Here's the thing. When I read this in the manga, because a lot of people, and I might have been swayed, I shouldn't have listened to people's opinions. A lot of people say that after the rumbling, Attack on Titan isn't good. After Eren gets the founder, it
I don't
isn't
think
good.
so.
I do think it went down, like not as like
I just feel like the highest highs have already paid off by this
exactly.
point.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm going to talk about
You
this in
know.
the ending, but I think a lot of when it comes to any ending in a series, when you're done revealing the information, what tends to happen in the endings,
Yeah.
it just becomes physical. It's just a clash, like it just him fight him or her, like army versus army or like enemy versus enemy. Like
Yeah.
there's no more arguments or ideas or themes to be explained.
Yeah.
It's just like just smash toys together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like
it
it's
is,
just
it
that's all you can do.
Which I agree with you. That's not Attack on Titan's high points.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
what? That's why I feel like that's what I mean by saying that the fighting and that the physical colliding of people's like fighting is like not the strong points. It's the ideas and like the intrigue, the mystery, the reveals, the information that is withheld, the characters.
Yeah.
So I just like seeing Annie back, but the reason why it does feel like it's not as good anymore because there's not that much information to give or to reveal anymore. And so I would just give this episode probably 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the stuff. I don't know. I think the stuff with Flock and
Yeah, that was really
John,
good. Yeah.
I think that stuff was good. But if I had to rate the whole thing, I would give it a 7.
Yeah.
I don't think I think there could have been much cooler things you could have done with Annie Leonhardt than just have her,
We
ride
do
a horse.
see. I did like the moment where it showed her that she didn't love her father until the moment that he said goodbye.
Oh
to her.
yeah, this was her backstory as well, which was because I'm rewatching the first season right now.
Yeah, it showed the dad, and I was like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I watched it. Yeah,
it's just great.
It's
I
great.
like
It's awesome.
seeing information like, hey, you get a different perspective from a scene that we've already seen.
Yeah.
So I would give this a mid 7 or a high.
I'd give it a low 7, but that's just a 7 all the same.
Shut up. Anyway, Pride, episode 24, the next episode.
Pride.
This is when we see the biggest event that happens is Connie has taken Falco to go back to Rococo Village to.
The most Connie character development we've ever gotten. In
Yeah,
the
I was like, wow,
series.
we're getting a lot of Connie.
Yeah, he doesn't just tell a joke,
Some people misunderstood this scene for Armin. They thought that Armin was so dumb for like, if people who thought that clearly either it just went over them or they just didn't.
Yeah,
They don't know Armin. But people complained about why would Armin do this? That's the dumbest plan. Armin knew that Connie wasn't going to do this, but even so,
but a lot of people are also like, why would Armin care? I get it, but Armin's a nice dude.
Armin, what literally happened 2 episodes ago is that Armin realized he was the wrong choice to be the Colossal Titan. I'm not the leader.
Yeah.
Eren was supposed to be the one to be revived. He was already feeling all this emotion. That, by the way, that scene with him and Mikasa was absolutely great. Man, I could miss that. But all this leading up to this, that he feels like he doesn't deserve this. He feels like he's making all the wrong mistakes. But at the same time, he knows that Connie won't do it. And so that's kind of what leads him up to that moment, which is absolutely great. Also, another meme moment, Connie making that face. Oh, we're just going to brush my mom's teeth off. And Falco's like, I don't know what you mean, my guy. I think you're going to kill me, but okay.
Yeah, I think the whole time Falco's like, wow, Connie's so nice. I was so bad to these people. I just feel so bad.
Where are my friends?
He's like, where are my friends? Oh, he's going to feed me to his mother. Yeah, it's
We also get Annie eating pie. That's such a great moment.
And they just find Annie. I just think it's hilarious.
She just eats like she just like munches down that pie.
I think this one's a 7.
I think it's a high 7.
A high 7. Sorry, I
yeah.
agree with you.
I like this.
I didn't mean to say 7 like it was so bad and non-casual. Like I didn't mean to say like, oh, it's a 7.
It's also at the very end. It shows that Mikasa Peak, like they rescue Onyakapon and John from what's his face.
Wait, was this the one where Rhino wakes up?
Yeah, we're gonna save the world. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. That's a good thing. And
yeah,
it's like
and
the Avengers. Yeah,
yeah, and Peak and Magath and Hanji and Levi get Onyakapon, John, and Yelena.
Yeah,
because that was a great moment.
That was a great moment.
Yeah, a high 7 or low 8, but
Yeah.
let's give it a high 7.
Yeah.
Night of the End, episode 25, the next episode.
what a good name, Night of the End.
I would give this a low 7.
Mhm.
It is a good moment, but it's really like we just sit there, and I felt like I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I would give this one an 8.
I don't know.
I even like I understand what you mean.
Normally,
we're just sitting there. But
It is. I mean, normally these types of episodes where like it's just dialogue between characters that you want dialogue to happen, I would be totally into that. And most of the times it works really well. But for me, I felt like it didn't work that much.
Oh, I get you.
And I
get
felt
you,
like we got a lot of. My favorite moment was seeing Annie converse with these people that because we
Right.
seen her as the enemy and she was the main antagonist, and just seeing her converse with Mikasa and Armin was great. But I felt like a lot of the stuff that happened was like I don't know, it just didn't work for me. I would give it a lot of 7.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The ones with, in terms of episodes without Eren and Zeke, This one was my favorite. But I see what you mean. But I think because I read this in the manga, and I remember this being no, I didn't read this in the manga. Never mind. I remember this. I don't know. Like I watched it and I thought it was great. I was ready to give this a 9.
I don't think so.
I think it's just the I don't know. I just think the sitting down and talking and about Marco's death and Hanji trying to relate and the commander of the armed forces being kind of a douchebag and all and seeing Jean just beat up Reina is just I think it's really
I felt like
good.
that was unnecessary. That was my I mean, that wasn't my biggest gripe, but I felt like John doing that was like completely unnecessary, in my opinion.
No, I disagree, but it's
I felt like the biggest one of the biggest like dialogue only, and which is why I wanted to talk about part 1 was Aaron with Reiner before his attack on Marley.
Right.
That entire episode was the best example of that, in my opinion. That was a 10 out of 10 episode,
right? Because
it was just, and yeah, it's Aaron, so. It doesn't help that he is the main character in that scene.
But I understand what you mean. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Attack on Titan and why a lot of people opinions of it after the rumblings began to dip is because you're starting to deal with characters who maybe Isayama should have given a little bit more development before this point.
Yeah.
Because the most interesting characters in this, Levi, Aaron, Zeke.
Oh, you mean the show? Yeah.
Yeah, in the whole show.
I thought you meant in the scene. I'm like, Levi doesn't say anything except shut up. Like he's sleeping in the scene.
He's still the most interesting part. Come on. But and maybe Reina, but only
maybe Reiner. I think Reiner's the most.
Reiner's the best, one of the best characters.
Not in the scene, but I think in his entire story, I think Reiner is probably the most well written, other than Aaron, is the most well written character in this show.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So I felt like
I think Armin's a really.
He's up there. I
think Armin's up there.
I think Reiner's underrated in a sense from a writing point.
Right. But it comes to this point where it's like. The main focal point of this are characters who aren't that interesting,
Yeah, I just felt like if this, to me, what makes a good dialogue scene is if we get information or a point of view that's different from what they usually go with or that we haven't seen yet. And I felt like I didn't get that. And I understand why you give it a 9 out of 10. I just don't feel that way.
No, you've swayed me. I would give it a low 8. But let's
agree.
But overall,
8.
Let's go with a 7.
Because, no, we can go with a low 8.
Let's go with a low 8.
Because you kind of swayed me too. And I see your point. But it just didn't work.
God, we're just so good friends.
Yeah, we should be running this country. There should be 2 presidents.
There should be. Right.
Trader, episode 26, the next one. We get to see.
Trader.
Damn you. No traitor. We see Ken the doll, or what's his name?
Who?
Bad haircut. Orange hair.
Oh yeah, Flock.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like Ken the doll? By the way,
he does look like Ken
with this
the doll.
haircut.
Yes, he does.
Flock has the Azumabito.
Yeah.
I'm butchering the name. Azumabito. They have him hostage.
Kiyomi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does this one end? I really like this one a lot. Because you get to see
great.
Daz and Samuel, which are characters we haven't seen since the first season.
This one ends with Connie and Armin slaughtering them, and then Connie screaming.
I love that
his
scene.
Brains out.
It had
great scene,
and it had tension that I haven't felt in a while, at least since a few episodes.
I read this in the manga immediately after. It's way better than the manga.
Really? In the anime?
Yeah, than the anime.
And we get to see Reiner and Annie. Right? They come out. They release their Titan forms?
Yes, this is when they come out and unleash their attack attack Titans, their Titan forms, which is the moment that was really done better than the manga.
Yeah, and we see McGath apologizes and realizes that he needs their help.
Yeah,
maybe what would have made that previous episode better if we had that moment in the but it happens in this one, and I like McGath a lot more because when he was saying oh no, I don't like you Island Devils, that's why I didn't like that previous episode a lot because come on man, you're working with us and you just be a little bit understanding.
Yeah, well I think McGath I get you, that episode he was kind of just a douchebag to be a douchebag.
Yeah, it's no lessons were learned.
Yeah, exactly.
But it happens in this episode and I like it a lot more.
Yeah, but also you have to realize he's the leader of the armed forces in a military dictatorship. So there's probably a lot of brainwashing that has gone on with him. So, hard to break.
But I would give this a high 8 out of 10. I
Really?
loved.
Dude, I would give this a 9.
I can see that. Yeah, because I loved Armin's and Connie's.
Armin and Connie like smiling like
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, dude, no.
But seeing Daz and Samuel, seeing them, it's just two ideas colliding. Like to them, to the Jaegerists, and as blind as they may seem, they believe that this is the only way. And from their point, and from if you were like in the Island of Parodies, there's like no other way, because the world will destroy parodies after if any smidgen of them survive. And I can see why they would see that. And saying Armin and Connie betray them is like absolutely out of this world. Why would you even? Do you not understand what we went through? All the people that we lost.
The fact that you read the opening and you see the word traitor and you think about. You think that it's the Jaegerist, but it's not. It's not them. And they finally, I love that flashback to them knowing exactly how Raina and Bertold felt.
Yeah.
God, it's so good. It's a good 9. Yeah.
Yeah, 9. Retrospective episode 27, the next one. I think the biggest MVP award goes to Flock, because he holds it down. Like, man goes down with a bang. He is,
and he gives a speech comparable to that of Erwin. Yeah, here's my problem with the episode. I don't know if Flock, a military policeman, who was originally in the MPs, has the ability to dodge and weave his way past 5 Titans and Mikasa.
But I think his determination was just that strong.
I get you.
Because he was like, he wasn't just like a hype man. Like, he just like, I don't know. He held down the fort like with Aaron gone, and I really think
he did.
It shined a different parallel
and
from Erwin.
Maybe there's been training that we haven't seen, but also.
And we see Falco turn into his Jaw Titan, which is a bird essentially.
That was good.
Falco is a falcon.
Exactly.
You literally can't get any simpler than that. Which is a great.
Talking about Erwin, and we'll talk about this next week. But I was watching the scene where Erwin destroys all of that for when Annie and Aaron fight, and he was like, because a lot of people have been talking about like if Erwin was the Colossal Titan, what would he do? Yeah. And I was like, he'd just join him. Like, he would kill all of humanity.
Yeah, it's really tough to say. And
he would though.
Yeah, he probably would.
Because because he was like,
he was a selfish man.
Yeah, he was. He basically like killed like thousands of civilians.
He just wanted the truth, and after that, he would have just fought for freedom.
Yeah.
But I would give it an 8 out of 10. So
8 out of 10. I agree.
We get Shadis and Magath, their final moments.
Oh, they die. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great moment. I love seeing them together. It was just two leaders from different sides agreeing and sacrificing themselves for the world in the future. Retrospective?
No, the dawn of humanity.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the last one. Wow, we went through this fast.
Yeah.
I would give this. We get to see Aaron. Aaron's not Aaron's backstory, but we see Aaron again.
Yes.
And we see a flashback. And according to you, this was supposed to be before in the manga.
Yes, this was supposed to be when the
right after the rumbling.
Right after the rumbling, and Mikasa is looking at, which I think it is. So in this chapter in the manga, what we do see is we see him talking to Astoria, we see him talking to Zeke, we see him talking to, as I said last week, the bullet in his eye, and we see him, which I don't know if they do in this episode. We see him in the flashback seeing his mom get eaten. Does that happen in this episode?
Yeah, it's the very end. Yeah.
So that happens, but everything before that, it is before, and I don't know. I think it's so much better the way the manga did it.
Yeah, but
I still trying to
I agree with you, because we talked about this last episode and how the placement of the manga and the way it was handled in anime might have been a better conclusion, and how it would have been better built up if it were arranged differently.
Yeah,
and we've talked a lot about it in the previous episode, which you check out. But I would give this an 8 out of 10.
Oh, really?
A high 8 out of 10. Or you would give this lower?
I'd give it lower.
Really?
I'd give it like a 6.
What?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. But here's the thing. In terms of storytelling, yes, it is an 8 out of 10.
Okay, you
However,
just don't like the arrangement of it.
When yes, the arrangement is the main because this is just what gets me. Like One Piece does this also. One Piece's first episode is different from the first chapter of the manga.
I noticed
and
that.
that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, give me.
I thought when I was watching it on Netflix, I was like, does it just skip like 50 episodes? Why am I saying Nami all of a sudden?
And Luffy's backstory happens like in episode 14 or something, which is absurd. It's the first chapter in the manga. That's the first thing you should know in the story. Like knowing how the story was in the manga, this for me felt rushed. It felt like they needed this part to end so that they could get to that rumbling in the next part. And also just knowing the context of everything that's going around it as a whole, for me, 6 out. Storytelling 8, 9, maybe even 10.
Yeah,
but,
because the final moment was really cool. Like
Yes.
just saying, "I'm going to kill those animals." So like,
that was great. That was great.
Yeah, and saying the rumbling happened. It was great. I liked it, and they parallel to Aaron's mother getting eaten.
But the best, the most important moment in the series, one of the most important moments in the series happens in this anime, and I feel like in this chapter, and I feel like they just gloss over it.
Which one?
When Aaron tells Mikasa and asks him how you feel, like how they feel.
They do say it, no?
They do say it, but I feel like the anime glossed over it. Like it's a whole.
They handled it. I think they might have handled it differently. I need to go read.
Yeah,
I need to go read it.
I don't
but
know. Maybe they just didn't think it was as important as I did.
I would give it an 8. You say a 6. So can we give it a 7?
In terms of storytelling, yeah, let's give it a 7.
Let's me in the middle say 7.
Yeah, no. So nothing below a 7 the whole way through, which is very good.
Yeah. Wow, we went through that fast.
We did.
I took all that time, and now for the big reveal. The ending.
No, stop. Yeah, I thought you were just gonna like spoil
No,
it.
no.
I thought you were gonna be like, "Oh,
Aaron is up."
Yeah. So for people watching who watch the anime, what did you guys think about it? Go into the comments. Tell us down below. Are you happy that they're turning into part 3? Are you mad? Were there some episodes that you thought were worse that were better than we thought? If you are an anime watcher only, do not watch any further. If you want to skip towards if you want to skip towards the end, we have timestamps. We're gonna do one last thing just before we leave. If you want to check that out, do that. But if you're gonna do it, read the manga or wait a year and come back.
Read the manga.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Kudos to you if you just turn off the podcast and then don't pick up this episode until like next
whole year. Yeah. Great job.
Keep watching the next episodes.
Yeah.
Just don't obviously. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do what you do.
So yeah, the spoilers from here on out. You have been warned.
Yeah.
So there you go. Edgar. Immediately after this, the rumbling begins.
Is Aaron a bird?
Aaron's a burb. Aaron burb. That's what I thought you were gonna say. I think you were gonna say, "Ooh, Aaron's a burb."
Okay. Well, before we get into this,
Okay.
People really overhyped on how bad this ending was.
People do not like the ending of Attack
I was
on Titan.
expecting this to be the worst thing in the world, and I was kind of disappointed by how not bad it was.
Okay.
I still liked it, but people really built. I mean, I don't, and I feel like it's, and this a lot of this ending was divisive, but I felt like I have the sense that those who were more disappointed and angry with this ending were a minority that was just so loud, because I feel like for the most part people. Because I feel like when people would say like, "Oh man, just read the manga," or just drop it from here now because it's just so bad, and I feel like they're the ones that get like the most attention, but for the most part,
I don't know, dude. A lot of people don't like this. Like
I don't feel like it's as divisive as The Last Jedi was.
No,
I don't think it's half
not.
and half. I think it's like a
Definitely
60-40, 40 hate it, and they're really loud about it.
The Last Jedi was just The Last Jedi. Attack on Titan is Attack on Titan and has so many great moments.
I don't think it's.
But,
I feel like I don't know. I feel this ending doesn't ruin the rest of the series for me, in my opinion.
No,
and it's not as bad. It isn't perfect, and it's not. It isn't perfect, and I wasn't expecting it to be, even if it was done well.
Yeah, so when we're talking about bad endings, it's hard not to compare it to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was showing cracks in its storytelling from the 5th and 6th season, whenever they started dropping storylines and adding new ones and stuff like that. And people were getting stabbed in the stomach and dropped into a poop-filled river and surviving. But the difference with this was, to jump ahead, I don't like the last chapter. I don't like the extra chapter he
I will
added
get to
at
yeah.
the end.
Here's the thing.
I didn't like either of those.
I liked the last. I was okay. Well, here I don't like the last chapter.
Yeah.
I was okay with it. I thought it was a good ending, but I didn't. I really didn't like the extra chapter.
I'm pointing at Edgar right now
Yeah.
because he is on it. Because
Yeah.
that is exactly.
I was
what
okay,
think.
and I was fine with the. It was bittersweet, kind of like Demon Slayer, except with the Demon Slayer extra chapters.
Yes.
It made it better.
That's
but
what I was thinking.
But
It's the opposite.
But the exact
Yeah.
opposite. It really it makes it feel like nothing was accomplished because it goes on to hint that the extra chapter shows that war happens. Paradise it gets more futuristic, but it ends up in war again.
Do you know my theory of this?
And it hints that when this ending happened and the extra chapters added, it was hinted that they were going to make a spin-off / sequel series because it hints off someone discovers a tree and there's the giant hole again, which looks exactly like the same one that Ymir walks into, and this is where Aaron's buried. So Founding Tower dies and is buried in some place, so you can only assume what's inside this giant hole, and it is assumed to be that whoever falls into this is going to end up exactly like Ymir again. So that's why I really don't like that. I was really hoping that this would just end.
It also teases that Mikasa and Jean got together.
Yeah, because he it does look like they're together, and I really don't think, even though Aaron says that he does whine about him wanting to be with, he doesn't want her to be with anyone, but he's like, she could end up with someone. I mean, it's not going to happen. And Mikasa was like, she could have ended up with anybody, but with ending up as John is kind of like really you couldn't do better with John. He just
the
had
way
to settle.
I took it was Isayama said, "Well, John's my favorite character, so he gets with Mikasa."
Yeah,
I think
that's a cheap shot.
I don't think Mikasa would ever, in my opinion, in the way that Isayama has written, I don't think
the way
that
he
she would
portrayed
ever
her
get over.
and because she's compared with Ymir, and they reveal that Ymir loved, even if it was a bad way, she ended up loving King Fritz.
Yeah.
Even if it was wrong, and Mikasa was supposed to be the parallel to that, and it felt like her ending up with John was like a complete, I don't know, just like not a way to handle that.
Well, I can't wait for Baron, the next generation.
Like Boruto. Oh man.
But another problem I had with the ending. So, Eren sent the Titan to eat his mom.
Was that revealed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I need to go back.
That's what so the first time I read it, I was like, I didn't get it. But then I read online, and it was confirmed that yes, Eren originally sent Dinah Fritz to eat his mother to get this whole thing started.
Really?
Which I think that is, if that is true, that is awful storytelling. I'm sorry. But if it,
I can't even remember what chapter this was. I don't.
This was the second to last one, I think.
Oh.
But if that is true, then that is Isayama taking too much of his sauce and pouring it on his story.
Yeah, it's too much of
trying
to make important things out of the past that don't really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's hard to do with this future thing, like on what exactly has effect. Is it a loop? Was there any way to get out of this? And if there was a way to get out of this, then I don't see Eren making that choice because
it was teased. It was teased that it is a loop because Eren dreams that there of another past life or another life where he runs away with Mikasa and he goes to sleep and he hears "See you later, Eren," which is the first thing that you hear in the manga and anime series.
I just got that.
Yeah.
I just got that.
Oh, you just got that?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit better.
This is fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
I've had like 2 weeks to sit
on
it.
But and we literally talked about in the Shonen Junk episode that we just recorded that when you read a manga, it's really hard to tell what's going on sometimes.
Yeah.
Even when it's just dialogue. So I'm getting this information and I'm like, oh my god. That I really do like that. But I do agree that it is really bad writing for the whole. Eren hated this. Eren hated his mother getting in. What I do like is he ends up wanting to end the Titans and he takes away the Titan powers.
It's great. It's great.
And that is the main reason why I was okay and why I quote unquote liked the ending because he accomplishes his goal. He didn't want any more Titans. He wanted this cycle to end, and why I hate And well, I mean, I say hate. I really don't like. I hate the extra chapters added. It goes to show that it was all futile. That
Yeah.
Eren destroyed the Titans and he stopped it. This cycle only for it to
Yeah.
start again.
But what Aaron didn't account for was corporate meddling, baby. He didn't account for because that's my theory.
Was it? Oh, you
That's
mean,
my corporate meddling.
yeah.
That's my theory.
That they
is
pushed
that
Isayama to
the
do this?
corporations were like, dude, this was the biggest television show in the United States. You will make a sequel, you know. And if not,
I hope not.
Somebody else will. Because
I
here's the
hope
thing.
not.
Dog, it's gonna happen. Because like here's the thing. Even in the first chapter, I didn't like the ending of the first chapter. Well, I did. I did like the Mikasa parts. I did like the parts with Eren until he said that he sent the Titan to eat his mom. I liked that parts. I liked the parts with Levi. The Levi part was so touching, dude.
With the give
With-
your hearts.
Yeah, give your hearts. It was beautiful, and Connie and John seeing Sasha, that was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
But the part that really got me a little bit miffed was when Armin was just kind of hanging out with Rhina and with Rhina, even though he kind of like slaughtered all of his friends. Like I feel like that they would
Reiner?
work together. Yes, because they were on the boat together, remember? And they're like working together, and they were kind of like messing around. And I was kind of like, didn't
the
he?
boat? I
Yeah.
thought that was with Annie.
No, he was with Rhina and.
When is this?
John.
After they defeated Eren, or
This was after they defeated Eren, and Armin talks about how there's a new power rising, how like there's a government that's like rising to power, and
and on parodies.
yeah, which
I don't-
teases that they failed to stop that
The peace?
right?
Yeah.
to stop peace,
But-
to stop
yeah.
the war.
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of liked it because
Yeah,
it is realistic because they did betray. There was a lot of people in parodies and they did and I assumed and the people and the Jaegerists that they destroyed weren't all the Jaegerists, so it's realistic. There's still a lot of Jaegerists on parody. They were able to group up and make they're afraid of the rest of the world retaliating against them.
I don't think that was it parody that did that. I think it was another nation that did that, right?
No, parody was because they were returning to parody in the final chapter, and they were on their way to discuss with someone to stop that we're going to make peace with the world, that there are going to be diplomats on parody with Asami Bito, and they're going to try to convince parody to stop.
But wasn't there like a panel where they saw? Hold on, let me pull it up. There was a panel where we saw like some Nazi regime going on. Was that parody?
I have no idea.
Hold
I
on.
think you're talking about the Jaegerists, because the Jaegerists
see.
ended up taking control still of parody, and at least from the way I read it, that Armin and the rest of the gang were gonna, except for Mikasa because she was already back there, she was on parody, that they were gonna go on the way as diplomats for the rest of the world. Diplomats for the rest of the world to
Yeah.
convince parody to
I also
make
thought
peace.
it was funny how Rhina still was in love with Historia.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Funny.
Also, that was a big letdown. I thought we were gonna have more. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I thought Eren had a child with Historia. That was my biggest.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But even if that wasn't true, they really kept it so vague to the point to where you thought it was going to be somebody else, or you thought it was going to be something important, but it wasn't in the end. And I was kind of, I don't know, let down by that. I really liked. How'd you feel about? Well, you look up that chapter, but I want to get to
God, that's
what-
so good. It's so
the
good.
panel with Levi.
The panel with Levi is so good.
Yeah. How do you feel about Annie and Armin? I liked it.
I like it too.
Makes sense.
However, I don't know how I don't know if I like the reason for the relationship, because a lot of people talk about the reason is because
Bertolt.
Bertolt.
But
I don't know.
But
if I like
the way
that.
they, I feel like Armin liked her solely
Yeah.
out of I feel like he liked her before that,
No, I agree.
and I felt like Annie liked her. Yeah, because
Okay,
yeah,
so
let's look at this
so
panel.
let's see.
We're
here.
looking at the manga right now. And
Yeah.
we're trying to refresh our memories.
So 3 years have passed. We literally just did an episode on Shonen Junk about time jumps.
Yeah,
Um,
there is a. This
Yeah.
one didn't piss me off that much
no, no,
because
no,
there wasn't
definitely
there
not.
wasn't a lot that I wanted
it's
to
not
see.
the time jump that pissed me off.
Yeah,
3 years have passed since the day known as the Battle of Heaven and Earth.
I really like that name, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Those who survived after an unfathomable number of lives were taken are still tormented by unhealing scars. As the world suffer through this loss, their fears have come true. The nation of Eldia has formed a so-called army controlled by the Jaegerists.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah.
Who now focus their efforts on building their military strength. Fear of retaliation from what is left on humanity on the other side of the sea. The island cries out as one. Wow. Okay. If we win, we live. If we lose, we die. If we don't fight, we can't win. Fight.
Aaron's words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fight will not end until either Eldia or the world disappears.
It seems disheartening, but these people are. It's kind of like the same reason how we defended the Jaegerists for thinking this way, because
they're on the boat.
For the same way we defended the Jaegerists for thinking this way because they believe that this is the right way. I can understand now that with the world semi-defeated, they completely crushed almost everything, and now with knowing that the remnants of some people of Marley, because there's still a lot of people, military people from Marley, still alive, along with Elvians who aren't on parity. They can understand that how they'll want to retaliate and how they can be afraid of that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wasn't so bothered by it. It did feel like
even parallels to the beginning.
Yeah,
with
Mikasa sitting at the tree and then Mikasa waking up Eren. See, I don't understand the bird thing. I know it's funny to meme about, and I'm not that mad about it. I just don't understand why.
Well, I think the whole imagery of Attack on Titan and freedom
was freedom as a bird,
a bird, yeah.
Or
so
maybe
a bird wrapping the scarf around that kept Mikasa safe. I think it's just to symbolize.
I like to think that it's not really Eren itself. It's just it's just a bird, and it symbolizes that in the end, Eren was able to get his freedom after death, but not literally.
Here's the thing. I think it could have been better if maybe the bird took the scarf. Because that's more of a bird like
you have to let go.
Yeah. Because a bird would not grab the scarf and wrap it around
unless
her,
it's literally meant to mean that it's Eren.
Yeah.
But
so people are just like Burb Eren.
I don't know. I don't know if Isayama confirmed it. I would like someone to ask him and say, is Eren an actual bird after the?
Well,
after
apparently he didn't know how to end it.
Really?
Apparently he didn't know.
I don't blame them.
So yeah,
and people really had so high expectations for this ending to the point to where it's ridiculous for people.
I mean, she says it's Eren.
yeah. I mean,
but I don't know. Yeah.
I don't have that much of a problem with it. The only thing that does make me mad is the extra chapters, because it really shoots the not really, but it really kind of defeats the whole purpose of Eren's point. Well, even though the art is still beautiful.
So Mikasa's dead.
Yeah, she dies.
Yeah,
She's buried along with Eren.
Along with Eren, yeah.
And there's a city, with
and
parody.
They're getting bombed.
Yeah, it's parody.
Okay.
So the world does retaliate. So they technically were right. They had every right to fear the world retaliating against them. The tree still stands alone. By the way, Treecon lives all the way through the show.
Doggy Titan?
I don't think so.
Sorry, guys. We're looking at the manga right now.
That is I like that. Well, I like the way it looks. I just don't like what it means for the future. I really don't want another series, man. I really don't.
Oh, but it's gonna happen though, and we're gonna watch it.
All right.
Yeah, but
bad.
How about we haven't even talked about the battle
Everything.
of heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Right.
See, here's what I mean.
Yeah.
What I felt, I liked it, but I felt like, and I knew it wasn't going to be as good because I knew all we had left was a fight, physical contact, which isn't Isayama's strength, and that's not to diss on him or anything. So I really hope, and why I not that confident, because it's Mappa with all these shows and all this work to do, and I can only assume that we're going to get pretty much the same thing that we got from this previous season in terms of animation. If it was given to a different studio that had the time and put in the work, not that Mappa isn't doing the work, but they simply don't have enough time and have enough workers, they could expand on this war and the action and amplify it the same way that Ufotable did with Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Because the action in the manga in Demon Slayer isn't as well choreographed and doesn't look as good. Not to, throw diss at them, but it's really the characters and the personalities in the manga that you're interested in the fights.
Yeah.
But the anime really amplifies it and adds scenes and makes it clear what's going on. And what I hope could happen with this war, with the final battle scene that we see, what I hope to see in the anime, but we probably won't get, But to sum up, Isayama isn't his strongest point isn't the fighting. So you kind of just see it. And I was reading it and I was like, oh, this is happening. I thought it was pretty cool.
So this is supposed to be thousands of years after, right? Because it looks like all the buildings have like moss on them. So maybe it's like hundreds of thousands of years later.
I wouldn't say hundreds of thousands, probably 1,000, 2,000 years or so, or 1,000 years, because the tree
2,000,
maybe 2,000 more years. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what other themes he could do with this series. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe try to make not a better ending, but like a better outcome of an ending for these new characters if there was a sequel series.
Yeah, I don't know.
But to talk about the Battle of Heaven and Earth, how did you feel about it?
I thought it was great seeing all the Titans come back, all the past Titans come back.
I like that
as enemies and as good guys was good.
I liked what happened in it.
It was very good, and seeing Levi finally kill a
Zeke
mission objective.
How'd you feel about Hanji dying?
Hanji dying. I forgot about that.
She gives up. She gives the authority to Armin now.
And when she says Titans really are fascinating, that
I like that.
And
she meets with Eren. Yeah, she joins Eren.
Erwin. We get to hear Erwin's voice actor one more time in the anime. Baby, let's go. But yes, I agree. I think that was great.
Falco flying.
Connie and John turning into Titans.
Yeah. Oh my God, I got so scared.
That was cool.
I got so scared.
I kind of wish that they just died. Like
Really?
I understand, but I think Attack on Titan for me is death. Like I think having two characters who we really, really cared about die like that, I
don't know. I might have been mad if they just straight up died as Titans, because I got so scared, man.
Yeah.
Like they scan in like this, but it did. It did like it come out of
it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked Annie and like making the decision to like go rescue Armin, and I liked the talk with Armin and discussing Eren, and I liked.
Oh yeah, Armin and Zeke have a conversation there too. Yeah,
and I liked how they were just how on the plane on the way to stop Eren, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna try to talk with him," blah 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 blah. And then Eren interrupts him like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to kill me." There's like, "No, this is it. Like, I'm giving you the freedom to stop me, but I'm gonna choose to destroy the rest of the world."
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like I wasn't really siding with anybody. I just wanted to see the outcome, and So with those kinds of endings, there's only so much hype and like weight and stakes you can put into the series
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, pretty metal, by the way.
Mikasa?
Having Mikasa kiss Eren's severed head is crazy.
Mikasa,
yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know, dog. I think I didn't have any problem because I was reading it the same as you because people were hating on it, and I didn't have I was like, what are you guys talking? This is awesome. And the final chapter was when I really was like, why? Like, why would he kill his mom? Why? I
need to read that again because I guess I missed that. But if that is the case, that is kind of brings it down lower.
Definitely.
I don't think, but I don't know. People really were hitting on it and making it like it was the worst thing in the world, and it really isn't. Like, so in the end, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. This could, like I said, if it's animated well, and I'm pretty sure it won't be, not to have low expectations, but if it was given all the attention in the world, this could bring this ending a little bit higher up in ranking. But it just won't be.
Okay, so here's sorry to cut you off, but just to go back in terms of the timeline, Bertolt was supposed to die when they attacked Shiganshina, right?
Oh yeah, because Eren reveals that.
Yeah. So that day, that time, I just knew Bertolt wasn't supposed to die yet. What? The one who let him go and made her go that way was me. So they say that he led her to that direction, to the mom.
Okay, I see.
So he did kill his mom.
Or maybe, or I don't know. You could assume maybe he did. I don't know, man. Maybe he. I don't like this. I'm taking this as he just spared Bertolt and just like let him into the town. Because keep going. We're going through this chapter, by the way. We're going through it.
And he just holds his hand. Let's go, Aaron. So he did do it. And he obviously doesn't like that he did it. And I don't like that he did it. But
well, let's look at. Let's try to. I'm gonna try to break this down from the world's point of view. What would have happened if Aaron didn't choose to let the Titan eat his mom, like knowing everything, knowing what's happened.
Yeah.
Even though he hates Titans, even though he hates that his mom died, and that's the whole reason why this started. What would have happened if he didn't do that?
I don't know.
He wouldn't have gotten the Titans' powers.
Yeah. Didn't he already? Oh no, you're right. He wouldn't have gotten it because he didn't have it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would Reiner and Annie and Bertolt have succeeded, and would have Marley attacked?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think. I think
I'm trying to find an argument. I'm trying to be the devil's advocate and argue for the.
I get you, but for me, as a storytelling wise, I don't think Aaron should have control over anything until he got the Titan.
Anything. Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's when the loop should have begun. I think this point he should have been a helpless little boy like he always was.
Here's the thing. Without all this, without the information, that is a really bad writing point. But I feel like it could have been written well if we just gotten more explanation as to why Aaron chose that path and what exactly would have happened if it didn't happen.
If Isayama confirmed or Aaron confirmed he was in a death loop like that, because something that also I didn't rub me the wrong way was Aaron said he didn't know what was going to happen at the end.
Yeah,
and for me, him not knowing is kind of like, then why would you do all of this? Like if you didn't know it was a time loop, if you didn't know you were stuck in this thing, if you didn't know it would end right, why? Because the whole thing for me was that he's doing this because he knows that they will stop him. He knows that they'll save the world. I thought that's the whole reason why he was doing it and why I was sympathetic towards him still. But now he's just somebody who slaughtered somebody for kind of no reason.
Did he say this after he took away all the Titans' powers or before?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm really trying to. It sounds like I'm trying to defend it, but I really trying to understand why he did this because I really, at least I hope he just didn't splur out.
As for me, even I still don't know what Mikasa will do. Only Ymir knows that one. So he
doesn't know what'll happen afterwards.
He doesn't know what he didn't know this outcome would
happen.
Does
he? So after this, does he take the Titan powers away? Because maybe that's what. No. Maybe that's what he didn't know. I think
Ymir takes the Titan powers away, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought he did it
because she sees him because only she has the power to do this.
Yeah.
But I think she sees the love that Mikasa and Aaron had. And then she takes it away, and she sees the suffering and loss. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. But if he knew that was going to happen, I think that would be a better, just a better, because. Well, Edgar, let's start wrapping up. Overall, we loved the series.
Yeah.
And
I would still give it an entirety a 9 out of 10, in my opinion.
Entirety? Edgar, it's got to be a 10 out of 10. The whole thing. Attack on Titan is a 10 out of 10.
No, I never thought that this show in this manga, even in this last part, had a lot of 10 out of 10 moments. But I would still give it a 9 out of 10 if it were being more specific. A 9.2.
Okay, if I'm being critical, a 9 out of 10. I agree with you.
I think the ending was a 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah. I really was expecting a lot worse.
The ending as a whole is a 7 out of 10. This last chapter for me is like a 4 or 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think
just an interesting comparison question compared to Game of Thrones. That ending, how would you rate that one?
Game of Thrones ending was 2 out of 10.
Okay.
But overall, the whole ending of Game of Thrones, is probably no. So the last, the whole ending is also a 2 out of 10. And the last episode is a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10 is when the whole themes of the story is when all the character arcs lead to this one point and it doesn't deliver and nothing happens and all the characters are back to the thing. It makes you go, why did I watch this? But here's the thing. Attack on Titan, one chapter does not ruin all of it. Just like if the Game of Thrones only had one bad episode and it was the last episode, it wouldn't ruin it.
Yeah, because it still did complete a lot of arcs that didn't, and they didn't shoot them in the face like Game of Thrones did.
Yeah,
it still completed a lot of good things.
We can still watch Attack on Titan and be like, "This was awesome," and it maybe just didn't. However, it could be ruined. it could be ruined by a sequel series.
Yeah.
There is that possibility still.
which I really hope doesn't
But-
happen. That's the only reason why I had that higher hope. Why I have higher hope for it. So like if I really, and like you said, they're probably going to animate the extra chapter.
It's probably going to be a post-credit scene, I would
I
guess.
really hope it.
Yeah. But
I still love this series.
yeah, me too.
I'll still buy
I
it.
was genuinely surprised. I thought you were going to like this and I was going to have to argue with you on here, but I think
No, I still like it. I just like.
I
mean,
agree with everything you said.
It's just it's like the opposite of like a hype train. It's like as if people like this could be the best thing in the world. This could be the best thing in the world. It'll be the best thing ever. And I get disappointed by it now how good it is. Except it's the opposite.
Yeah.
People were assuming the worst thing in the world, and
It's
thought
not
it was
the worst
okay.
thing in the world.
It really isn't.
It's not on the same level of Bleach. It's not.
And I would argue that more than half of those people don't think about the story as much as we do when we watch or read something.
No,
So-
definitely. And
Not saying that we're smarter than them. It's just that people really overlook a lot of things. They just see person die, or they see someone not do this, and they just say, "Oh, this sucks." And it happens even with shows that do end well. They overlook things that they
I don't know. I think the people who didn't really like this were the people who overanalyzed the story. Like the people who a lot of disappointment in mangas come from people who overanalyze and overspeculate.
I think I want to highly overspeculate. I felt like most people who hated this overspeculated more than overanalyzed.
Yeah. Just like here's the thing, like One Piece reviewers, like One Piece YouTube is notoriously known for like the most bizarre theories and crazy that you're just like, this will never happen. And then they get angry when it doesn't happen. And you're just like stop doing that,
I feel like a lot of the hate, not all of it, but a majority of the hate, I like to say, that came because of that.
Yeah.
And this was already a work that people were considering peak fiction, 10 out of 10 show.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever, so it has to have the best ending ever.
Yeah.
Even if this had a better ending, it still wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be as good as the high points of the show had.
Yeah.
Because it just couldn't, because he had nothing else to. Maybe in another world he would have written the perfect ending, but I literally can't imagine it because just the way it built up, it just couldn't end. It couldn't hit any more points because he had nothing else to give. Because everything that we wanted was already delivered.
Yeah.
Maybe if we found a way to have that into the very end, it could have been better, but he didn't. And this is how it ended, and I'm okay with it. And I'm gonna watch the anime when it comes out, and I'm gonna buy the rest of the manga whenever the box sets come out because that's how I bought them.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait for that.
Mine's the Colossal editions. I want those babies. They look beautiful.
Yeah,
But,
I'll still analyze and study the story and take inspiration from it for years to come. I love this show and love this manga with all my heart.
Yeah, it's a brilliant story that maybe didn't land on its own 2 feet correctly, but that's fine.
It's still my favorites.
There you go.
I'll probably have a new favorite later, but it's still my favorite. Yeah,
I agree. I completely agree with you. Well, guys, thank you so much for
do
coming.
you want to talk about what we're reading?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Let's talk about at the end of every episode. At the end of every episode, we're just going to talk about what we're reading, what we're doing, just to kind of like connect. Because when me and Edgar read a manga series, we're going to talk about it on this show.
Yeah.
If we both read it. If we're not, then we won't. But Edgar, what are you reading right now?
I'm reading. Probably said this before, but I'm reading Blue Lock, and I'm reading. What the heck? Oh, Tokyo Ghoul. Sorry, Tokyo Ghoul and Blue Lock.
Are you caught up to Blue Lock?
No, not yet. I'm still reading it, but it's really good, and it's like
good.
And it's like I never read Haikyuu. I only watched Haikyuu, but when I was watching Haikyuu, like, wow, this sports anime is really good. But I'm like reading it. I'm like, wow, man, this is really good.
Yeah, I think the Haikyuu manga is really good too. Yeah.
And Tokyo's Ghoul's going well. And yeah, I'm gonna pick up Berserk and Jujutsu Kaisen very soon. So, and I'll probably pick up One Piece too because I need to keep going on One Piece because otherwise I'm never gonna finish it.
Any shows, any video games you're playing?
Shows I'm watching. Basically all the spring lineup that we mentioned the previous week. Love is War, absolutely hilarious. Rising Shield Hero, super great. Shikamori is not just a cutie, is great. Along with Spy Family is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I read the manga and I can't wait for more. And it seems like it's gonna be the most popular show this season because people are just absolutely loving it and it's hyping it up.
No, definly. I mean that. Yeah.
What I'm playing is Kirby's. I'm playing the Kirby game.
Yeah, awesome.
It's so great. But me and my brother were playing it because he can co-op on it, and it's just so fun. I haven't played a Kirby game since like Superstar Ultra, but real men play Kirby, not Elden Ring. So
there you go.
Want to be a man? Play Kirby.
Yeah,
So,
right.
What are you reading?
I'm reading right now. I'm reading Hell's Paradise, dude. I read 50 chapters of it yesterday. I went to town on it. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It has jumped to my top 5, might even be my top 3. I'm really enjoying it. It is one of my favorite stories I've ever read.
Mappa's doing the anime for that, right?
Yeah. I think this summer. Yeah,
God
awesome.
help them.
I'm also reading My Hero Vigilantes. I'm almost caught up with that.
Isn't that in I heard that was in its final arc?
That is in its final arc.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of problems with the story until they get to Aizawa's backstory. And for some reason, the two manga creators, because there's a writer and a drawer, for some reason they just became god tier at writing stories. Because now even the drawer has become better at drawing. Yeah, at better illustrator.
I'm pretty sure drawer is still a word, but illustrator is the one you're looking for.
But the illustrator has become even better at making his story look like actual Horikoshi's world. Before it kind of just looked like a bland kind of manga.
Like a fan made, thing.
Yeah, but now it looks like, I was like, because he's getting because the nose are like kind of curved and long and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it's really good. And so there's a point in the story now where it's reaching the end and like stuff is really starting to happen and it's really interesting and the stakes is really good. It's probably the best start to a My Hero Academia arc ever.
Really?
Because My Hero Academia arcs usually start off very slow and very barring the war arc. But usually they start off very slow and kind of school oriented.
War arc just kicks off.
It starts with Dr. Garaki meeting Endeavor, which is just a great start. But yeah, so it starts really well, and it has one of the best romance stories, and it makes Endeavor a villain, which is really, really yes, not a villain, but he's an antagonist. Yeah, because there's this part where our main character is trying to save this villain because they're like brainwashed, but Endeavor's like, no, I'm gonna just kill her and get it over with. And he has to fight. Oh, dude, it's really good. It's really good. But yeah.
I also hear there's rumors along the rumor sphere that it'll probably get an anime.
It's probably going to get an anime after the manga's finished, maybe.
I don't know, but that's what I heard in the rumor sphere that it's might probably get an animation.
I think it will. I think it'll run. For
it obviously will. It's just that I'm hearing that it'll happen now.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
I'm also watching Cowboy Bebop.
You're watching that?
Finished. I got like 3 episodes left. I'm taking my time with it because I don't want it to end. Yeah, it's really good. It is the next it's a story for the ages. But I'm sure we'll have an episode specifically on that. I'm playing Elden Ring, but right now I'm playing really, really hard on Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Oh, is that fun?
Oh, it's so much fun. It's a little bit. There are some parts of it that are disappointing. It breaks the mold in terms of like how Lego levels are formed, and they're a lot shorter. But it's a lot of fun to hear the Clone Wars voice actors and the Duel of the Fates, and hear the Clone Wars actors.
I hear there's a lot of sand jokes with Anakin.
There's a lot of sand jokes, yeah. But yeah, of course, I started with the prequels, and I just finished the prequels, and I'm going on to the original trilogy. I hope that the new trilogy, that the sequel trilogy is fun to play also.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up. But yeah, because I hate those films. Other than that, I think that's about it with what I'm reading and planning to read. So yeah.
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 Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, put on that notifications bell if you're on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Instagram. All of these stuff we're on, and we're continuing to make content for you. Next week, we're going to be ranking every single arc in Attack on Titan.
Yep.
So that's going to be a lot of fun, kind of like a tier list, how we did for our recent Shonen Junk. If you don't know what that is, that's the other videos we post on our YouTube, so go check those out as well. Edgar?
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
I guess I'll see you next week.
I guess I'll see you next week.
I hope I see you next
week. Because I'm out of here after this podcast is done.
What? I thought you wanted to hang out.
No, we're going to go eat somewhere.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
See ya.